To us, success means many things, and maybe not what you'd expect. To us, success means living a simple life where we are content to create with our hands, care for animals, and grow food. To us, success means caring for the earth, even in the smallest of ways, and making it a better place for those who will come after us. We are sisters, Julia and Anastasia. And 2 years ago, we moved back home to live with our mum in the Australian rainforest. We abandoned the city, and in the process, we left behind our studies, our friends, and our conventional ideas of a successful life. Our lives drastically changed in so many ways. While our day-to-day life became so different to our previous routines, it was our mind state that changed the most. Standing back, we were able to realize that success is internal, and through the lens of yourself and no one else. We realized that if we are enjoying ourselves and have purpose in our daily tasks, then we are successful. We realized that our careers weren't as important as our personal growth. We realized that success isn't comparable, and no matter if you're a CEO, a shepherd, a farmer, or an artist, your success comes from within. For us, this internal feeling of success came from working on the land, creating with our hands, and caring for animals. We've found so much meaning and purpose from our lives in the country. But along our journey of redefining our lives and viewpoints, taking care of our mental health has always been important. That's why we'd like to thank BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. Living in the wilderness has ups and downs and can sometimes be isolating. BetterHelp assesses your needs and matches you with your own licensed professional therapist, and you can start communicating within 48 hours. It's not a crisis line or self-help. It's professional counseling done securely online. There is a 15,000 plus counselor network, and these professionals are available worldwide. Unlike traditional therapy, you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions from your own home. This makes it so much easier and accommodates for people like us living away from traditional facilities. You can log into your account anytime and send a message to your counsellor, and you'll receive a timely and thoughtful response. BetterHelp make it easy to swap and change and help you find the perfect counsellor. It's more affordable than traditional offline counselling, and financial aid is available. Visit betterhelp.com/mtmf. That's BetterHelp. And join the over 1 million people taking charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. This morning routine of cuddles is our favourite part of the day. I made this top from an old tablecloth, and the days I spent crafting and perfecting it gave me so much purpose. Julia pours her expression into painting, and in each stroke she finds purpose and success within. She is painting me a portrait for my birthday. She has done this every year for 6 years, and documents my life through her paint strokes. She is painting from a day that we spent exploring in the rainforest, hopping through opalescent water and sitting beneath huge trees that must hold so many stories. While she paints, I'm sewing a top from my collection of old hand-embroidered tablecloths. Working with these precious handcrafted materials always feels so meaningful. Making sure to cut the pieces without disturbing the beauty is hard, but this process gives me so much purpose. It is through this creation that I feel the best in myself, and therefore the most successful. Using recycled materials means that I have to consider each piece very carefully. I make my own patterns and then I edit them for each new tablecloth. The fabric always decides the journey of the garment.
Me. The trees keep on pouring all their secrets in their pockets. I swear to forever keep them in my soul and in my spirit as I went on.
Julia is mapping out the composition of the painting first with charcoal. I'm always in awe of how incredible her skills are, and I have no idea how she does it. Julia is completely self-taught. When she was a kid, she became sick with ME or chronic fatigue syndrome, so she wasn't able to go to school, and instead, our mum bought her some canvas and paints. Ever since, she has made hundreds of paintings, experimenting and learning something new and improving each one. I feel very lucky because many of the paintings are of me, or the rainforest around us. What a special way to document our lives here.
Of the dreams of our lovers, we found marble at the bottom of the lake that I grew up by. There were statues in the forest to remind us of all the beauty they've all went on. Sail slowly backwards to find a point that finally led us here. We're swimming pitch black water, but with a stroke a million lights appear. There's no bottom to our sorrows. We fill a lagoon until it flooded as we searched on.
I'm using French seams on the lace so that it doesn't fray and isn't messy. A French seam is sewn backwards and then turned around so that the seam allowance is hidden.
I walk alone through the forest, there's no one there to stop me. The trees keep on pouring all their secrets in their pockets. Swear to forever keep them.
To gather around the bust, I sew 2 stitch lines on a wide stitch length, and then I pull the threads. This is a really simple way to gather evenly.
You will walk with me forever, to promise strength, to promise courage. Across the desert of past oceans, where you stood at the end with your hand pointing. Or towards the green horizon, towards the wonders of pure and nameless as we went down. As the sun became the guardian of the dreams of our lovers, we found marble at the bottom of the lake that I grew up by. There were statues in the forest to remind us of all the beauty they've all undone. Now we sail slowly backwards to find the point, to find the letters here. We swim in pitch black water, but with a stroke a million lights appear. There's no bottom to our sorrows. We fill a lagoon until it flooded as we searched on.
Julia is picking custard apples. They taste like the creamiest sweet custard, but you can also eat them in a savoury way. As our summer comes, the hills light up with the afternoon sun in a glowing red. It's so magical to watch the seasons change in these intricate and beautiful ways. Moth likes watching the sunsets too. Overnight, there was a beautiful thunderstorm with heavy droplets of rain banging on the roof. In the morning, all the water evaporates in the hot sun and turns into a glowing mist. It's time to get back to our projects in the art studio.
Don't you think about it? Good boy.
Coals rolling in, western bird spreads its wings, eager to fly. The boy spoke my name as he entered my wings, so he could fly. Now I'm down on my knees, so I could bring him some peace, making him fly. he fell softly to the ground, the super fine. Velvet meadow, pink flowers cover the ground, as he kissed mine. Blue eyes, his skin was glowing, rejoiced as we rode back into life.
Julia is painting the underpainting to map out the light and dark and the composition of the painting.
Cold's rolling in as the bird spreads its wings, eager to fly. The boy spoke my name as he entered my wings, so he could fly. I went down on my knees so I could bring him some peace, making him fly.
I'm easing the sleeve to the body of the top. This means the sleeve will sit nicely and fit the seam really well.
He was up in the sky. I swallowed and smiled as he fell softly to the ground, the super fine.
But now it's like
Velvet meadow, pink flowers cover the ground, as he kissed mine. Blue eyes, his skin was glowing, rejoiced as we rode back into life.
I'm so excited, it looks so great. For lunch, we're making a homegrown feast. Everything tastes so much better fresh. When we first moved home, one of our goals was to start growing our own food, and we're so excited by how far we've come. For us, this is a big personal success. We picked these avocados, limes, and custard apples earlier. Today, Julia is starting to paint the portrait. I'm so excited. Since I finished my top, I'm going to get into farm work and brush cut all the weeds up above the studio. Caring for the farm can be a lot of hard work and sometimes overwhelming. It feels like whenever we clear weeds, they grow straight back. On humid days like this, it sometimes feels like too much hard work to go out and brush cut this whole paddock. But once I get out there, it feels so good to be using my body and achieving something so big and real. It also feels so meaningful to clear the forest of weeds and give back to the land that gives us so much.
We ran past the monuments, we ran all over town with a bottle of gin under our skin. Rome felt easy and fine until we ran to save our money, we ran to save our minds, and we laughed until we cried. Oh, well, I can't save you, but I can try to make you warm inside. Darling, well, it's too late. Let's just shut our brains. And when we wake, the world might seem less insane. You move slowly in the fluorescent, you move slowly in the dark, 'cause I felt you in the park with your purple hair. So by the castle stairs, we forgot our troubles as the snow fell down. Yeah, we were poor on money, we were rich on time. Our freedom climbed up high. Oh, well, I can't save you, but I can do my very best to try. In a cash machine booth, hiding from cold, you showed me how to dream, and you told me about freedom as you kissed me on the cheek. You said, let yourself loose, run wild and free. There's more to life than him. Oh, well, I can't save you, but you surely saved me. Darling, sometimes I feel like our freedom is just a scheme to avoid creating something real. Maybe we should anchor ourselves to another dream, and that way figure out what freedom means. I'm floating under skyscrapers outside, where the stars don't exist here, except the fake ones in the halls of fame and illusion of happiness. happiness that's poisoning our minds. Oh, well, I can't save you, but I can try to stay by your side. We ran past the monuments, we ran all over town with a bottle of gin under our skin. Rome felt easy and fine until we ran to save our money, we ran to save our minds, and we laughed until we cried. Oh, well, I can't save you, but I can try to make you warm inside.
The next day, we are so excited about seeing what the painting looks like finished.
That just shut our brains, and when we wake, the world might seem less insane.
It's so beautiful and I can't wait to hang it above my sewing machines.
Found you in the park with your purple hair, so by the castle stairs.
Thank you for watching. We're so grateful always. And a huge thank you to all the support from our patrons.